This morning, while the city still sleeps and the darkness gently lingers, we gather in a sacred moment, 3 a.m., a divine hour where heaven draws near and God's whisper can be heard by those who are listening. It is not just a still hour, but a holy invitation from the Almighty to rise, to pray, and to awaken the fullness of your faith. Because in this hour, miracles are in motion, and divine protection is being released for those who dare to believe. Imagine the testimonies of believers who, stirred from their sleep in the middle of the night, chose not to turn back but to turn toward God. With every whispered prayer, they encountered the supernatural. They found healing for their bodies, peace for their minds, restoration for their families, and victory over situations that once looked impossible. As Psalm 62 verse 56 says, "Yes, my soul, find rest in God. My hope comes from Him. Truly, He is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will not be shaken." These aren't just words theory, a lifeline, a weapon, a declaration that moves the heavens. Brothers and sisters, today you are invited into a deep spiritual encounter with the living God. A moment where we don't just pray, we believe. Where we don't just hope, we expect. Because the God we serve is not distant, He is present. He is listening, and He is able. So as we step into this time of prayer, open your heart wide. Let your faith rise. Whatever burden you carry, whatever valley you're walking through, know this. No darkness is too deep, no storm is too great, and no battle is too fierce for our God. He is the light that breaks the night. He is the healer, the redeemer, the deliverer. And this morning, He's calling you to meet Him right here, right now. Let us prepare our hearts, for we are about to enter into a moment of breakthrough. A moment where your faith will touch heaven, and heaven will respond. Dear Heavenly Father, I come before you in this sacred hour when the world sleeps, but you are awake when the darkness is deep, but your light still reigns. It is 3 a.m., and I stand in the stillness with trembling hands lifted because I know this moment is not accidental. I know, Lord, that you stirred me for a reason. Not to worry, not to fear, not to dwell in restlessness, but to war in the Spirit, to seek your face, to call upon the God of all creation, who neither slumbers nor sleeps. You are the God who moves in the midnight hour, the God who split seas, raised the dead, and shattered chains in prison cells through praise and prayer. So here I am, God, not with polished words, but with a desperate heart, a heart that knows this hour is holy, a heart that has felt the heaviness of fear, the torment of unknowns, and the haunting grip of spiritual warfare. But I declare now this hour belongs to you. This battle belongs to you. This soul belongs to you. So, Father, I lift my voice with boldness, not timidity. For your word declares in Luke 10, verse 19, "Behold, I give you authority to trample on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy." So I stand on that promise now. I trample every lie spoken over me in the dark. I rebuke every plan of the enemy that was launched in the silence. I reject every whisper of defeat and cast down every tormenting thought that dares to exalt itself above your truth. Let the fire of the Holy Spirit fall in this place. Let it burn away fear. Let it consume every doubt. Let it illuminate every hidden scheme of the enemy. I cover this hour in the blood of Jesus, the blood that still speaks, the blood that still protects, the blood that still breaks chains. Devil, you have no access here, no dominion, no permission, for I am hidden in Christ, and I am covered by a name higher than yours, Jesus. Holy Spirit, breathe into this room right now. Let your presence settle over me like the quiet mist of morning dew. Let your comfort surround me, even as I cry out with fire. I don't want a surface prayer, I want a soul-wrenching encounter. I want to hear you speak. I want to feel you stir within me. I want to be reminded, even in this dark hour, that I am not alone, that I am not forgotten, that you are still the God who answers. I pray now for divine protection, hedges of fire around my home, angels stationed at every doorway, every hallway, every child's room. I speak Psalm 91 aloud, because I dwell in the secret place of the Most High, and I abide under the shadow of the Almighty. No arrow by day or terror by night shall touch me. I declare that you are my refuge, my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Every demonic assignment launched in the night canceled by the authority of Jesus. Every tormenting spirit that crept in while I slept expelled by the power of the Holy Ghost. Every nightmare, every shadow, every curse, I reverse it now in the Spirit, and I release the peace of heaven over my body, my mind, my house. Father, when I feel like the only one awake in the world, help me to remember you are awake with me. You are not distant. You are not late. You are not reluctant to move. You are near, near to the brokenhearted, near to the restless, near to the ones who rise in the night and seek you with trembling lips and tear-stained pillows. And you reward those who diligently seek you not with empty words, but with power, with presence, with peace. I ask now for supernatural victory, not just over my enemies, but over the war inside my mind. Silence the lies of insecurity. Tear down the strongholds of anxiety. Confront the patterns of fear that try to chain my purpose. I reject the thief who comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And I cling to the shepherd who came that I may have life, and life more abundantly. Right now, in this moment, I call on the name of Jesus over my sleep, over my family, over my thoughts, over my calling. Your name is stronger than any diagnosis, any delay, any disappointment. You are not only my protector, you are my defender, my deliverer, my destiny shaper. God, ignite my spirit in this hour. Let this be more than prayer-led, it be revival. Let the gifts of the Spirit awaken in me. Give me dreams from heaven, visions of what's to come. Wake me with prophecy. Stir me with intercession. Burden my heart with what burdens yours. Use this hour to train me in spiritual warfare, to teach my hands to war and my fingers to battle. Let the sound of prayer at 3 a.m. shake the gates of hell. Let it tear down every barrier, open up every heavenly door, and align my life with divine order. Lord, I won't sleep through this moment. I won't ignore this hour. I won't roll over and silence the nudge of your Spirit. I will pray. I will stand. I will speak. I will decree. Because I believe that when I pray at 3 a.m., I'm not just keeping watch, I am partnering with heaven. I'm activating angel armies. I am sowing seeds in the Spirit. I am ushering in breakthrough. And I believe, yes, I believe that breakthrough is already on the way. Dear Heavenly Father, in this sacred hour when the rest of the world sleeps and silence blankets the earth, I rise summoned not by anxiety, but by your Spirit. You have awakened me in this hour not to worry, not to fear, but to ward o call upon heaven, to release declarations over the darkness, and to take my place on the wall. This is not an interruption, it is an invitation. You have called me to stand in the gap while shadows fall over the land, because you see what I cannot. You know what is forming against me, and even more you know the victory you are preparing before me. I rise because you have whispered my name. I rise because you have called me to attention. I rise not in dread, but in confidence, because you are the God who never sleeps, never slumbers, and never turns your gaze from your children. This hour belongs to you. These moments are holy. This space is where heaven meets earth and battles are shifted in the spirit. So I step forward, trembling but ready, weak but willing, vulnerable but victorious through you. I come as your soldier, no longer bound by the blankets of comfort, no longer shackled by the voice that says, "Go back to sleep." I will not. I refuse to return to sleep while the enemy prowls. I will not slumber while you call me to awaken. I will not miss my moment while you are summoning me to stand in the Spirit. So now, Lord, arm me with truth. Wrap me in righteousness. Fasten the gospel of peace upon my feet. Raise the shield of faith before me. Secure the helmet of salvation over my thoughts. Place in my hands the sword of your word, and I will wield it with authority. I will not shrink back. I will not be intimidated. For I have been called as a watchman, a warrior, a worshiper. Even now, God, I sense your presence thickening in the air. I feel the weight of this moment. I hear the clashing of realms. I see, by faith, angels being released on assignment swift, radiant, fierce. I see the enemy retreating, his whispers silenced, his schemes unraveling in the light of your glory. Every curse spoken against may cancel it in the name of Jesus. Every word of doubt, defeat, or destruction, I rebuke it now by the blood of the Lamb. I declare, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No assignment sent to harm me shall succeed. I plead the blood of Jesus over my mind, my home, my family, my destiny. This hour is consecrated. This moment is anointed. And in the name of Jesus, I declare breakthrough. Father, I surrender every fear, every unanswered question, every weary sigh I've held in secret. I pour it out before you like oil. I lay it on your altar. You already know the weight I carry. You already know the battles I've fought in silence. But tonight, I will not carry what you already paid to lift. I trade my burden for your presence, my confusion for your clarity, my anxiety for your peace. Yes, Lord, I receive your peace, the kind of peace that surpasses understanding, the kind of peace that guards the gates of my mind when all logic says I should be falling apart, the kind of peace that breaks through sleeplessness and says, you are safe here, you are seen here, you are loved here. God, stir the supernatural inside of me. Let this not be a ritual, but a reawakening. Rekindle the fire. Open my ears to your whisper. Open my eyes to dreams, to visions, to angelic encounters. Let my midnight prayers echo like thunder in the heavenlies. Let them shake the gates of hell. Let them release divine decrees over my household, over my children, over my purpose. I speak over my home. Now let every unclean spirit be driven out. Let every dark presence flee. Let every lingering oppression dissolve in the fire of your glory. I declare my home is a dwelling place of the Most High God. Every room is saturated with your peace. Every hallway is guarded by your angels. Every window is sealed by your word. I do not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, because you are my refuge and my fortress. And God, I do not only pray for myself. I stand in the gap for others. I intercede for my family. For every broken marriage, I cry out, restore. For every prodigal child, I cry out, return. For every sick body, I cry out, heal. For every anxious mind, I cry out, calm. For every wandering soul, I cry out, encounter them in the night. I pray for the single mother weeping in the dark, for the father crushed under silent pressure, for the teenager battling unseen demons, for the widow whose bed is cold and heart is lonelier still, for the pastor who pours out but feels empty inside, for the believer losing hope. Visit them, Lord. Wrap them in your nearness. Let them know even now you are close to the brokenhearted. Heavenly Father, let this hour be holy unto you. Let it become a fragrance rising from earth to heaven, a scent that moves your heart. Let it be the hour you write victories into the book of my life. The hour you open doors no man can shut. The hour you send divine connections. The hour you heal what seemed unhealable. The hour you whisper blueprints for the next season. I want more than comfort. I want calling. I want more than relief. I want revival. I want more than survival. I want to walk in authority. So train me in the night, Lord. Teach me to discern. Teach me to listen. Teach me to war with worship, to intercede without fainting, to declare without doubting. You are the God who parted seas at midnight, the God who broke chains in a prison cell through song, the God who appeared in dreams to change destinies, the God who walked on water in the fourth watch. You are the same yesterday, today, and forever. And I am the same vessel, weak in the flesh, but made strong in you. So I say now, with trembling boldness, let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let your fire fall on this altar of 3 a.m. Let your glory invade this moment. Let angels descend and ascend. Let chains break. Let fear flee. Let faith rise. Let heaven hear the cry of one who will not stop knocking until the door opens. And God, I'm not asking for goosebumps. I'm asking for change. Change me. Conform me. Search me. Purify me. Wreck me and rebuild me. Do in me what only you can. Let this hour of darkness become the womb of a new dawn. Let this warfare become worship. Let this groaning become glory. Father, if I could pour out every hidden cry, every silent ache, every restless corner of my soul, I would lay it at your feet now, here, in the stillness of this sacred hour. Because I know you hear what is unspoken. I know you see the tears I've hidden even from myself. And I trust, fully and completely, that you are not just listening, you are responding. I feel the weight of divine purpose pressing into this moment. I feel something shifting in the unseen. Chains I can't even name are cracking. Doors I haven't yet knocked on are beginning to move. I'm not here just to pray. I am here to partner with you, to co-labor with heaven, to declare what you have already ordained. So in this hour, I open my mouth and I speak what you whisper. Peace be still over the storms of my mind. Peace be still over the chaos in my household. Peace be still over the past that tries to haunt me. Peace be still over the future that tries to intimidate me. I will not bow to fear. I will not submit to despair. I will not surrender to lies. I will rise in prayer until what is bound in earth is loosed in heaven. Father, I thank you that I don't have to perform to be heard, that I don't have to be eloquent to be embraced, that even my sighs are sacred to you, that even the pauses in my prayer hold power when they are filled with surrender. You know when I have no more words. And in that silence, you speak louder than I ever could. I pray now, Lord, for spiritual eyes to see the schemes of the enemy before they manifest. Give me discernment sharper than the serpent's deception. Teach me to recognize not just good from evil, but what is almost right from what is truly righteous. Strengthen my spirit so that I will not be swayed by popular opinion or flattering voices, but rooted in your voice alone. Let my prayer be fire in the spirit. Let it burn away apathy. Let it consume every root of bitterness, every hidden idol, every false comfort I've clung to. I don't just want to be comforted. Lord, you want to be cleansed. Purify me in the hours when no one sees. Sanctify me in the secret place. Break off anything that cannot follow me into the next season you've prepared. I ask for divine clarity, God, not vague direction, not partial glimpses, but clear, spirit-led guidance. Lead me in paths of righteousness for your name's sake. Not for my fame, not for my platform, but for your glory alone. Let the roadmap of my future be drawn in obedience, not ambition. Holy Spirit, I invite you to search every thought, every motive, every decision I've justified but never submitted. Show me where I've compromised. Convict me where I've grown dull. Revive me where I've fallen asleep spiritually. I don't want to live half awake. I don't want to wander in spiritual fog. Let the fire fall again, not just to excite me, but to transform me. Lord, teach me to worship when I don't feel like it. Teach me to intercede when I feel empty. Teach me to wait on you even when the delay hurts. Remind me that delays are not denials, that what you are building in me is deeper than the breakthrough I'm asking for. Let patience have its perfect work in me, that I may be mature, complete, lacking nothing. I pray now for every person you've entrusted to me, for those I love, and for those who have wounded me. I forgive, Lord. I release. I break every soul tie with pain. I cut off every tether to offense. I will not carry bitterness into this new day. I will not let wounds become walls. I ask you to heal what was broken by human hands and to restore what was stolen by hell's schemes. I declare over this night hour, this is not just a watch, it is a birthing room. I am not pacing the floors of fear. I am laboring in the spirit for what is coming. The groans in my soul are not panic, they are prophetic. Something holy is pushing through. The contraction of delay will give way to the delivery of destiny. Father, I feel it now, this holy stirring, this holy trembling in my chest. Not from fear, but from the awe of your nearness. How could you, the God of eternity, bend low to meet me in the dark hours of the night? How could you, the one who holds galaxies in place, be so present in the quiet room where I kneel? And yet, here you are, closer than breath, more faithful than time, more real than the ground beneath me. So I lift my soul again. I lift the parts of me that feel too fragile to name, the broken dreams, the crushed expectations, the questions that ache without answers. I bring them all into your presence, and I say, do what only you can do, Lord. Breathe over the ashes and call forth beauty. Take what man declared useless and reveal its purpose. Let not one moment of pain be wasted in the tapestry you are weaving. In this 3 a.m. moment, I align myself with heaven. I align my thoughts with your word. I align my emotions with your truth. I take captive every imagination that exalts itself above the knowledge of you. I silence every lie of the enemy that says I've missed it, I'm too late, or I'm too broken. I declare that your timing is perfect and your grace is sufficient. Even now, I feel the sweetness of surrender washing over my bones. And Father, in this hour, I ask you to restore my spiritual sensitivity. Let me be so attuned to your whispers that I move before the wind changes. Let me not be led by convenience, but by conviction. Let my ears be trained to hear you even in the smallest breeze, the faintest stirring. Let me become a dwelling place where your spirit rests continually. I pray over the future you've prepared for me, and I pray not from worry, but from trust. I place the unknown in your hands, and I say, let it be unto me according to your word. Every locked door, you have the key. Every delayed answer, you have the time. Every battle ahead, you already hold the victory. I do not walk toward tomorrow with trembling, I walk with expectation, because the same God who split the sea is walking before me. Lord, awaken the gifts you placed within me before I was formed. I don't want them to lie dormant. Stir them to life. I fan into flame the prophetic voice, the healing hands, the discerning spirit, the bold intercession. I will no longer suppress what you placed in me just to fit in, to please man, or to remain unnoticed. I was not born to blend, I was born to burn, to shine, to reveal your glory in every sphere you send me into. Tonight, I lift up the weary intercessors, ones who have labored in secret for years with no applause. Strengthen them, Lord. Renew them with joy. Remind them that you collect every tear in a bottle and none have gone unseen. Their quiet cries in the midnight have shifted nations in the spirit. Let them see the fruit of their faithfulness. I intercede now for the broken generation rising behind Mepher's sons and daughters raised in confusion, in a culture of noise, in a war on identity. Lord, raise up warriors from among them. Visit them in their dreams. Anoint them with holy boldness. Set them apart, not just with words, but with fire. Let them hunger for righteousness. Let them prophesy. Let them carry revival in their bones. God, ignite revival in my home. Let it not begin in stadiums, but in living rooms. Let it start around kitchen tables, where forgiveness is spoken and grace is practiced. Let worship rise not from stages, but from ordinary voices at ordinary hours. Let your spirit fall like rain upon the thirsty soil of everyday life. Let family altars be rebuilt where you are honored again as Lord of all. I surrender the pressure to perform, to prove, to carry what only you are meant to carry. I release the need to have answers, and I cling instead to your presence. Lord, it is enough for me that you are here. I do not need a sign, I need surrender. I do not demand explanation, I long for intimacy. In the shadows of this hour, you are light. In the unknowns of my journey, you are the way. In the ache of longing, you are the fulfillment. And I know now what you desire most is not my perfection, but my proximity. You don't wait until I'm whole to come near. You come to me in the mess, in the middle, in the moments I least feel worthy. And so, with nothing polished and nothing hidden, I draw near. I bring you my honesty, my rawness, my ache for more. I bring you my trembling, yes. I bring you my fear and my faith side by side, asking you to be the God of both. Wrap me in the stillness that carries your voice. Let this holy quiet become my home. Teach me to dwell, not just visit. Teach me to abide, not just reach. Teach me to make a habitation for your presence in the daily rhythms of my life. Let my breath align with heaven. Let my heartbeat echo your pace. Let my mind be stayed on you, that I may be kept in perfect peace. I cry out now for divine recalibration. Where I have strayed, gently pull me back. Where I've run ahead, slow my steps. Where I've shrunk back in fear, breathe courage into my bones. Let this be the hour you realign my destiny with the coordinates of heaven. I do not want to build what you have not authored. I do not want to chase what you have not blessed. I do not want to grasp what you are asking me to release. Remove from me, O God, every counterfeit thing. Tear down the idols I built in ignorance. Uproot the habits that numb my sensitivity to your spirit. Burn away the distractions that dilute my passion. I do not want a diluted walk. I want the fullness of intimacy with you. I do not want a shallow flame. I want a wildfire that cannot be quenched. Baptize me again, not just with joy, but with holy fear. Let me tremble at your word. Let me be undone by your holiness. Let me be convicted where I've grown casual. Let me revere what I once overlooked. Make my heart a tender garden where your voice grows deep roots. Tonight, I surrender my timeline. I surrender the pace I've tried to set for myself. I lay down every internal deadline, every artificial pressure to arrive. You are not bound by time, and neither is my promise. You are the God who works in suddenlies and seasons. So whether you whisper or thunder, I will wait. Whether you move fast or slow, I will follow. Whether you answer now or later, I will trust. I lift up every promise that seems delayed. Every word I once clung to, but now barely remember. I bring them back before you, not to demand fulfillment, but to remember that you are faithful, that you do not forget what you speak, that your word does not return void, that what you begin, you complete. So I hold them again, not with clenched fists, but with open hands. Do it your way, in your time, for your glory. And Lord, I bring you the wilderness places, the dry valleys, the desert seasons, the parts of me that feel barren, empty, lifeless. I declare over them, let living water flow. Let fruit spring forth. Let what was hidden bloom. Let joy arise from the ashes. You are the God who brings streams in the wasteland. You are the one who turns mourning into dancing, sorrow into songs of deliverance. Speak over my deserts now. Awaken every dormant gift. Stir up every buried dream. Revive what I thought was dead. Call forth what I've been too afraid to hope for again. Breathe new life into my creativity, my vision, my calling. Let nothing lie idle when you are ready to move. Father, teach me to walk in the Spirit and not fulfill the desires of the flesh. Let holiness not be a duty, but a delight. Let obedience not feel heavy, but beautiful. Let me find you not just in miracles, but in the mundane, in a washing of dishes, in the morning drive, in the late-night nursing of a crying child. Let your glory be found in the simple things, because you are not confined to temples. You make your home in surrender hearts. Right now, I ask you to search me. Know me. Try me. See if there is any anxious thought or hidden motive in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Strip me of pride and pretense. Burn away every impure desire. Remove the masks I wear to be accepted. Let the only approval I seek be yours. I renounce every word curse spoken over maybe others or by my own tongue. I break agreement with every identity that does not reflect your truth. I silence the echo of shame, the torment of failure, the lies of not enough. I am not what I've done. I am not what was done to me. I am who you say I am. And tonight, I choose to believe you. I step out of agreement with the orphan spirit. I'm not abandoned. I am not overlooked. I am chosen. I am adopted. I am called by name. I am seen in the secret place and known in the deepest ways. Your banner over me is love. Your correction is kindness. Your nearness is my comfort. Let every identity that is not rooted in sonship fall away now. I'm not a beggar at your table. I am a child in your arms. I don't need to earn what you've already given. I don't need to perform for what's already been secured. I don't need to strive for what grace has already won. Lord, I lift up my body, every cell, every organ, every system. Let it align with the wholeness of heaven. Heal what is hidden. Restore what is weak. Strengthen what is weary. I speak life over my immune system. I speak peace over my hormones. I speak strength into my bones. I speak clarity into my mind. I declare my body is a temple, not a battleground. A place of peace, not torment. A place of healing, not decay. I pray for dreams tonight, not just for sleep, but for vision. Let my rest be prophetic. Let my subconscious receive downloads from heaven. Let angels minister as I sleep. Let every dream be an instruction, a revelation, a confirmation of what you are doing in me and around me. Let no demonic torment visit me. I bind every nightmare, every night terror, every false vision, every attack of fear. I plead the blood of Jesus over my subconscious, over my spirit, over my rest. Let the peace of Christ rule and reign over every room, every thought, every corner of my heart and home. I intercede now for the church, for every sleeping lamp that needs oil. Awaken the bride. Shake us from compromise. Deliver us from idolatry. Cleanse our pulpits. Purify our altars. Raise up a remnant that does not bow to culture, that does not water down truth, that does not entertain darkness for the sake of relevance. Raise up Davids with slingshots and Esthers with courage. Raise up Daniels who refuse to defile themselves. Raise up Annas who intercede night and day. Raise up Pauls who shake cities with the gospel. Let the lukewarm be set ablaze. Let the cold be awakened. Let the fiery ones be released. Even now, Lord, I feel the invitation to go deeper, to step past the threshold of convenience and into the chambers of covenant. You're not calling me to visit you on Sundays. You're inviting me to live with you daily, to commune with you continually, to breathe you in and release you everywhere I go. Make my life a living prayer. Make every step worship, every conversation holy, every assignment sacred. Make me dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Let the light in me expose and expel every hidden work of the enemy. Let my obedience be a weapon. Let my yes echo into generations. Let this 3 a.m. altar be remembered in heaven, not for eloquence, but for surrender. Not for volume, but for yieldedness. Let it be the night that changes everything. The night where fear lost its grip, where faith took root, where fire fell, where angels moved, where your will advanced. Even the parts one didn't know, I still clung to. Even the secret compartments of my soul that I'd barricaded out of fear. I open them now, one by one. I give you access to the sealed off rooms, the ones labeled too broken, the ones I convinced myself you wouldn't want to touch. But you are not repelled by the ruin. You're drawn to the places that cry for resurrection. So I place it all before you, Lord. Every hidden insecurity I've dressed in confidence. Every scar I've painted over with laughter. Every wound I've nursed in silence. I will not hide them from you anymore. I will not pretend you don't see them. I invite you in, into the trauma, into the betrayal, into the loss, into the spaces where words never quite reached. I give you full permission to restore me from the inside out. And as I do, I feel something breaking. Now I'm abut the walls, the harness, the defense mechanisms that kept love at a distance. They're falling now, one piece at a time, not from force, but from the weight of your mercy. Your gentleness breaks while my striving could not. Your compassion disarms what fear built up. I collapse into the arms of truth, and I find that I am not falling apart. I'm finally falling into you. Let this be the hour where grace floods in like light through a broken window, where your presence fills every hollow space until there's no vacancy left for lies, where the haunting memories lose their sting because your love rewrites my history, not erasing it, but redeeming it. You waste nothing, God. Not a single moment of pain, not a single tear, not even the mistakes I thought disqualified me. Let this be the night that shame loses its voice in my life. I no longer submit to its accusations. I will no longer let it edit my identity. You have called me clean. You have named me chosen. You have declared me free. And I will agree with you, even when the mirror tries to argue, even when the past tries to testify. I choose to agree with heaven's verdict redeemed. Father, I ask for courage to walk in the healing you give, not just to receive it in the secret place, but to live it in the public square. Let my freedom be evident. Let my restoration become a river for others to drink from. I do not want to hoard your goodness. I want to become a conduit. Let healing flow through me. Let peace flow through me. Let joy overflow from the wells you dig in my soul. I bring you now my relationships, every one of them, those thriving and those fractured, those that are a source of strength and those that have been a source of sorrow. I lay them at your feet. Where there is bitterness, plant forgiveness. Where there is pride, plant humility. Where there is silence, plant compassion. Let me not react from pain, but respond from love. Let me not be driven by offense, but led by grace. Teach me how to love like you love. Not in word, but in action. Not when it's easy, but when it costs. Let me be a vessel that carries reconciliation not just with others, but with myself. Show me how to forgive me, Lord, for all the ways I fell short, for the time I wasted, for the opportunities one ignored, for the wisdom I didn't walk in. I surrender self-blame now and pick up your peace. Let your truth silence every inner critic. Let your kindness cover every harsh word I've spoken to myself. Let me see myself through the lens of redemption, not perfection, but grace in motion. Not what I lack, but what you're cultivating. Not who I used to be, but who I'm becoming in you. And tonight, God, I cry out for nations. I cry out for lands torn by war, for children orphaned by violence, for people displaced and unseen. Let your justice roll like a mighty river. Let righteousness rise in government halls. Let mercy reign in the places where cruelty has lingered too long. You're not a distant God. You are near to the suffering. So raise up intercessors, raise up reformers, raise up voices of compassion. Let revival not be confined to churches. Let it spill into city streets. Let it burn in boardrooms, in schools, in hospitals, in prisons. Let your glory be revealed not just in miracles, but in transformed hearts, in reconciled communities, in reformed systems. Let your kingdom come not just in worship songs, but in policies and in public discourse. Let your justice walk hand in hand with your mercy. Anoint those in hidden places, those whose names will never trend, but whose obedience shakes the heavens. Anoint the janitor praying in the stairwell. Anoint the single parent laying hands on their child every night. Anoint the teacher speaking life into students who've never known stability. Let them know their offering is holy. Let them feel your smile. Tonight, I cry out for the wanderers, the ones who once burned for you, but now walk in shadows. Call them home, Lord, not with condemnation, but with compassion. Let them hear their name again, not with shame, but with belonging. Let the scent of home draw them back home in your presence. Home in your arms. Home in the truth they once knew. Tear down the lies that kept them away. Remove the counterfeit comforts. Let the things they reached for fail to satisfy. Let the emptiness grow loud until it becomes a hunger for you. And when they return, let the church be ready not to interrogate, but to embrace. Not to shame, but to celebrate. Teach us to love prodigals like you dow with running feet, with open arms, with feasts of joy. And as I sit with you in this holy hour, I realize how much I've needed this not just once, but every day. This stillness, this reset, this divine exchange of weight for wonder, of burdens for breath, of striving for stillness. Why do I wait until I'm empty to run to the well? Let this become a daily rhythm, Lord. Not a spiritual emergency, but a sacred habit. Let me not compartmentalize our time together. Let me walk with you at noon like I do at night. Let me seek you in joy like I do in pain. Let me learn to linger not just when I need answers, but when I simply want you. Teach me to build a life that makes room for awe. That does not rush past wonder. That does not trade mystery for control. I give you full access every season, every space, every yes, and every no. I withhold nothing. If you say go, I'll move. If you say wait, I'll stay. If you say speak, I'll shout. If you say be silent, I'll trust. I don't want to lead myself anymore. I want to be led by the one who sees the whole story. Whisper to me again, Holy Spirit. Your voice is my compass. Your presence is my map. Your peace is my confirmation. Let me not just move for you, but with you. Let me walk at your pace. Let me obey at the slightest nudge. Let my footsteps be marked by stillness on the inside, even when the path is unfamiliar. I declare over this moment, nothing in my life is untouched by grace. My past is under the blood. My present is in your hands. My future is wrapped in promise. And my soul is at rest. Not because the storm has passed, but because the one who commands the winds is in the boat with me. So I will not be shaken. I will not retreat. I will not bow to fear or bow out of the race. I will fix my eyes on the author and finisher. And even if I stumble, I will rise again. Even if I falter, I will lean on mercy. Even if I'm weary, I will fall forward into grace. You're my anchor in chaos, my melody in mourning, my breath when I forget to breathe, my light when I can't find the path. And even when I don't feel you, I will still follow, because you are not a feeling, you are a faithful God. And because you are faithful, I lean into you when my strength fails. I lean into you when my thoughts betray me, when emotions swell like waves, when my heart beats too fast for peace to catch up. I lean into you not because I understand everything, but because I believe in the one who does. You are my steady place, my immovable rock, my hiding place, and my high tower. I thank you for being unchanging in a world that shifts beneath my feet. While voices rise and fall, while seasons come and go, while people enter and exit, you remain. You are consistent when I am not. You are committed when I waver. You hold me together when I feel like I'm unraveling. And in this hour, in this sacred space between night and morning, I hold on to you as tightly as you've always held on to me. I lift my hands not in desperation, but in adoration, because even in the waiting, you are worthy. Even when the answers delay, you're still good. Even when I'm met with silence, you are still speaking. I may not hear the words yet, but I trust the language of your spirit, the way you move in the atmosphere, the way you breathe peace into chaos, the way you say more in stillness than thunder ever could. And I ask, Father, that you make me fluent in that language, the language of stillness, the language of quiet obedience, the language of holy hunger. Let me not just speak in tongues, but walk in wisdom. Let me not just declare bold things, but live, surrendered ones. Let me not just believe in your power, but embody your presence. Make me a walking sanctuary. Let people encounter you just through my words, but through my silence, through my kindness, through the way I forgive, the way I serve, the way I love. Let the evidence of your spirit be so clear in me that atmospheres shift when I enter, not because I'm loud, but because I carry you. I bring you my imagination, Lord. Sanctify it. Let what I dream be aligned with what you've designed. Let what I desire be refined by your spirit. Let what I visualize not be distorted by fear or lust or pride, but shaped by eternity. Give me dreams too holy to fit inside worldly molds. Give me visions that outlive my lifespan. Give me purpose that outshines applause. I do not want fleeting impact, I want eternal fruit. I want to plant trees whose shade I may never sit under. I want to sow seeds of faith that generations after me will harvest. I want to be faithful with the little, even if the platform is small, even if the reach is quiet. Teach me to treasure the hidden place more than public recognition. To seek the secret, reward your smile. I ask you to remove every hindrance that keeps me from running the race with endurance. Not just the sin that entangles, but the weight that slows me down. The good things that became God things. The distractions disguised as obligations. The commitments I made without consulting you. Free me from every chain I voluntarily picked up. Unload me from burdens you never asked me to carry. You never call me to be everything for everyone. You call me to be faithful to you. So clarify my assignments, Lord. Simplify my schedule. Refine my focus. Let me pour where you're pouring. Let me invest where you're moving. Let me be okay with saying no when it protects the yes I gave to you. Let me stop asking you to bless what I build and start building what you've already blessed. Let me stop striving to make things happen and start surrendering to what you're doing. Let me stop fighting battles that aren't mine, carrying yokes that aren't light, chasing provision you already promised to supply. And while I'm waiting, while I'm learning, while I'm growing, let me worship. Not just when the band plays or the church gathers, but here, now, in the dark, with no music, no spotlight, no validation, just you and me. Let this be the kind of worship that reaches heaven, the kind that costs something, the kind that lays down reputation, pride, comfort, and fear. Because you're worthy, even if the breakthrough doesn't come today. You're worthy, even if the healing takes time. You're worthy, even if I never get the outcome I imagined. I will still call you holy. I will still lift my hands. I will still pour out my tears at your feet, knowing you bottle everyone. You don't discard my sorrow, you turn it into strength. Tonight, I bring you my deepest hunger, a longing to know you more. To know not just what you can do, but who you are. To experience the breadth and width and height and depth of your love until I am overwhelmed, overtaken, undone. Let me never grow numb to your nearness, never bored by your presence, never too busy to bow. Make me one who tarries, one who lingers, one who waits, and in my waiting, transform me into a woman, into a man after your own heart, into one who doesn't just quote scripture but embodies it, into one who walks humbly, speaks gently, forgives quickly, and loves deeply, into one who doesn't just preach good news but is good news. Because the gospel isn't a theory, it's a lifestyle. It's visible, it's tangible, it's lived. So make me a vessel of your joy, not just when things are easy, but when they're hard. Let my joy be rooted in eternity. Let it be the kind of joy that laughs in the face of opposition, that dances in the rain, that clings to hope when everything else falls apart. Let it be unshakable because it's built on a kingdom that cannot be moved. I pray for the ones you've called me to love, my family, my friends, my neighbors, my enemies, yes, even them. Teach me to love without condition, without agenda, without expectation. Just love, the kind that washes feet, the kind that doesn't need credit, the kind that lays down rights and picks up crosses. Help me love the ones who are hard to love, the ones who wound with words, the ones who never apologize, the ones who misunderstood me. Give me eyes to see them like you do. Give me compassion to cover them. Give me the strength to pray blessing over them, not just in theory, but in truth. And Lord, tonight I ask not just for strength, but for stamina, to keep showing up, to keep saying yes, to keep choosing holiness, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when it doesn't look fruitful. Let my roots grow deep in faith so that no storm can uproot me. Make me like a tree planted by streams of living water, whose leaf does not wither, who bears fruit in every season. Not just visible fruit, but fruit that remains. Patience that endures. Kindness that disarms. Faithfulness that holds. Peace that passes understanding. Self-control that stands firm when temptation whispers. Joy that bubbles up even when tears fall. Love that casts out fear. Make me a reflection of you in every room I enter. A mirror of mercy. A carrier of truth. Let your spirit shine through the cracks in my humanity. Let my weakness become the backdrop for your strength. Let my brokenness become the lens through which your beauty is seen. And as the night gives way to morning, as the stars fade behind the slow rise of dawn, I stay with you. Not because I must, but because I want to, because there's nowhere else I'd rather be than here in the quiet, in the stillness, in the hush between yesterday and today, in the presence of the one who makes all things new. And as light creeps gently across the horizon, touching rooftops and treetops, I feel the shift not just in the sky, but in my soul. Morning isn't just breaking over the earth, it's breaking open inside me. This is not merely the end of night. It is the beginning of a resurrection, a rising, a rebirth. Not because all my circumstances have changed, but because something within me has. I'm no longer weighed down by what I once carried. I have exchanged it here quietly, fully for something greater. I have traded ashes for beauty, grief for joy, questions for presence. You are my dawn, Lord, and you rise not just once a day, but again and again in the hidden places of my spirit. You illuminate the dark thoughts that try to claim me. You warm the cold parts of my faith. You speak gently into places that once only knew silence. You are not in a hurry, and neither am I not here, not now. I have tasted what lingers in the stillness, and I no longer crave escape. I crave encounter. I crave you. So as the world awakens, I remain. I remain with you. Not physically on my knees perhaps, but internally postured in reverence. With every breath I take, I echo what I've said here in secret. I belong to you. My plans belong to you. My hands, my words, my thoughts, my days all yours. Every hour, even the hard ones. Every season, even the silent ones. Every dream, even the buried ones. You are welcome to them all. Now, Lord, use me. I don't just want to be comforted. I want to be commissioned. I don't want to simply be filled. I want to be poured out. Let this time in your presence not end in peace alone, but in purpose. Mark me with direction. Give me a sensitivity to divine appointment. Help me recognize the moments that seem small but carry eternal weight. Make me attentive, alert, awakened. Let me carry the fragrance of this moment wherever I go today. Into the workplace, into the mundane, into the unexpected conversations, the sudden interruptions, the ordinary routines. Let the aroma of intercession cling to me, like smoke after fire, so that anyone who comes near senses something holy has happened here. Let my silence be pregnant with power. Let my gaze reflect eternity. Let my tone carry healing. Lord, make my life consistent with my prayer. Don't let my words rise higher than my character can sustain. Don't let passion outrun discipline. Don't let revelation outpace obedience. Anchor me in humility. Let me walk softly under the weight of what you've spoken. Let me treat it as sacred, as costly, as something I would rather die than dilute. I ask, Father, that you teach me to respond quickly when you speak. Let there be no delay between conviction and repentance, no hesitation between instruction and action. Remove the fear of man from my spirit and replace it with the fear of the Lord. A fear that doesn't cower but bows. A fear that leads not to paralysis but to purity. And Father, I pray for boldness, not brashness, not arrogance, but holy confidence. The kind that walks into rooms carrying peace. The kind that doesn't have to be loud to carry authority. The kind that knows its source is not self, but spirit. Let me stand where others fall back. Let me speak where others stay silent. Let me stay planted when others run. In this hour, I pray also for endurance. Not the kind that just holds on, but the kind that grows while waiting. The kind that builds muscle in the tension. The kind that weeps and still believes. That hopes and still holds steady. That doesn't despise the slow days or reject the obscure ones. Give me the grit of the saints, God, the anchored hearts of those who held on to you when there was no proof, just presence. And if I ever forget, remind me. Remind me what you whispered here in the dark. Remind me who I was when I bowed. Remind me of the way the silence carried your voice, how the stillness felt holy, how the floor beneath me became holy ground. Let this hour not become a memory, but a map, a place I return to again and again, not physically but spiritually, a well I draw from in the dry days, a lighthouse when fog rolls in. Let what you planted here bloom in ways I can't predict. Let what you uprooted here never take root again. Let what you whispered here echo across the corridors of my life, guiding me gently into every yes you've already written. Let this be the hour that sets something eternal in motion and alignment, so precise that heaven and earth will look back on it and nod. And for all the ones who don't yet know this kind of peace, for those still tossing in fear, still searching in crowds, still aching for belonging, I intercede. Visit them, God. Wreck their sleep if you must. Draw them into their own midnight hour. Send dreams, send interruptions, send divine discomfort if it will awaken holy desire. Give them their own 3 a.m. encounter, the kind that doesn't come through a preacher or podcast or platform, but through your presence alone. Meet them where they are, in dorm rooms and hospital beds, in silent cars and prison cells, in high-rise apartments and under city bridges. Your spirit is not limited by place. You have no boundaries, no borders. You move where you will, and where you move, everything changes. Let this be the generation that doesn't settle for borrowed fire, that doesn't rely on past revivals or inherited faith. Let us seek you ourselves. Let us find you in the scriptures. Let us worship without a stage. Let us pray without being seen. Let us give without expecting praise. Let us burn without being consumed by applause. Let this be the hour that births a new breed of believers, ones who do not bow to culture, who do not bend under pressure, who do not barter truth for comfort. Let them be known not by fame, but by fruit, not by charisma, but by character, not by numbers, but by nearness to you. And if that remnant must begin in me, let it be so. Strip away the layers that made me acceptable to men, but distant from you. Break every mask I've worn for approval. Shatter every image I've built for admiration. Leave only what is real, only what reflects your nature. I'm not asking for safety, Lord. I'm asking for sanctification. I'm not asking for more followers. I am asking for more faith. Not greater reach, but deeper roots. Not higher platforms, but lower postures. Teach me to live with eternity etched in every thought, every step, every word. Let nothing be wasted, and let nothing be in vain. And when I walk into rooms today, let it be as one who has come from the throne room. Let my words carry weight because they carry wisdom. Let my silence be louder than shallow noise. Let my prayers continue under my breath and ongoing conversation, a continual communion, a fire that never goes out. Let me remember you in the laughter. Let me feel you in the traffic. Let me worship you in the mundane. Let me glorify you in the interruptions. Let my every reaction be a reflection of the hours we've spent together. Let every decision trace its roots back to this altar. Because this is more than a prayer. This is more than a moment. This is transformation. This is impartation. This is the sacred space where heaven reached down and marked the earth, where my name was spoken afresh, where my purpose was rewritten in holy ink, where eternity pressed against time and left fingerprints on my soul. And so I carry it all forward now, not as a burden, but as a blessing, not as pressure, but as presence, not as weight, but as wonder. You have met me here, and I will never be the same. And because I will never be the same, I cannot return to the shallow waters of spiritual apathy. I cannot go back to surface living when you have invited me into the depths. I cannot rewrap myself in the garments of pretense when you have clothed me in presence. I have seen too much of your beauty to be satisfied with substitutes. I have tasted the weight of your glory, and it has made me hunger for nothing less. Let this hunger remain, Lord. Let it grow. Let it burn in me like a holy fire that never dims with routine. Even in the days when I feel dry, let the embers still glow. When distraction tries to lure me away, let the memory of this moment draw me back like gravity. Let the ache for more keep me at your feet. I do not want to chase shadows. I do not want to serve the expectations of man or the demands of systems that have lost sight of you. I want to walk in step with your spirit even when it costs me, even when it separates me, even when it feels like I am walking alone. Remind me that if I have you, I lack nothing. Remind me that intimacy with you is the greatest reward. And Lord, help me steward what you've revealed in this hour. Let me not be careless with your whisper. Let me not forget the weight of this communion. Seal in me. Carve it into the marrow of my bones. Let every heartbeat echo back what you've spoken. Let every breath I exhale be filled with remembrance. I know this kind of encounter carries responsibility. It is not for status, it is for service. It is not for spectacle, it is for sanctification. You have not touched me to make me feel good, but to make me more like you. You have not called me close so I can remain unchanged. So prune me, refine me, shape me. Do what you must so that I may bear fruit that remains. Even if it means discomfort, even if it means waiting, even if it means letting go of what I once called mine. I choose you above the blessings, above the breakthroughs, above the applause. I choose the narrow way, the way that leads to life. I choose obedience over opportunity, purity over popularity, presence over performance. Make me one of the faithful ones, God, one of the hidden ones, one of those whose names are unknown on earth, but known in heaven. Let my treasure be stored where moth and rust cannot destroy. Let my rewards be eternal. Let my legacy be holy. And I pray the same for every soul who longs for more of you, for the hearts that cry in the night without language, for the ones who fast without fanfare, for the intercessors who groan in secret, for the worshipers who sing in silence, for the broken ones who still believe. Strengthen them. Remind them they are seen. Remind them they are heard. Let them feel the pleasure of heaven even now. Raise up your remnant, Lord, across every nation, in every tongue, in every tribe. Let there be voices crying out in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord. Let there be oil in our lamps. Let there be fire on our altars. Let there be purity in our hands and truth in our mouths. Make us ready not just for revival, but for return, because we know you are coming again, not in secret, but in glory, not as a lamb, but as a lion, not to suffer, but to reign. So we prepare our hearts. We trim our lamps. We wash our garments. We make room. We surrender again, not just for now, but forever. And until that day, let this posture remain bent low, hands lifted, heart open, ready, available, unshakable. Teach me to live in such a way that when you return, you find me not busy, but faithful, not distracted, but devoted, not striving, but still. Let my life be a song you delight to hear. Let my thoughts be incense rising. Let my love be loud in heaven, even if quiet on earth. Let my every day resound with the echo of this prayer. Let this not be a single moment of consecration, but a new way of life, a path paved with daily surrender, hourly reliance, moment by moment awe. And when others look at me, let them see you. Let them see not perfection, but pursuit. Not pride, but dependence. Not control, but surrender. Let the story of my life point only in one direction toward you. Not toward my name, not toward my dreams, not toward my plans, toward the Lamb who was slain and now lives forever. So I rest in you, fully, freely, fearlessly. I rest not because I have figured it out, but because you have. I rest not because the road ahead is easy, but because the one who walks with me is faithful. I rest not because all is calm, but because you calm the storm with a word. And in this rest, I receive joy. I receive strength. I receive renewal. I will carry this stillness into the chaos. I will carry this peace into the battlefield. I will carry this fire into the cold. Because what you have done in me is not for me, Allenite, is for the world you so loved. And I want to be one who carries that love. That fearless, scandalous, supernatural love that knows no boundaries. That breaks through walls. That heals deep wounds. That never runs out. Let my hands be your hands. My voice be your voice. My steps be led by the wind of your spirit. Let me not resist the currents of grace, but let them carry me deeper. Deeper into mystery. Deeper into truth. Deeper into mercy. Deeper into you. And when this day is done, let me return to this altar not as an obligation, but as a homecoming. Let this secret place be my dwelling, not my destination. Let it become more real to me than any platform, any position, any pursuit. Let this be the air I breathe, the place I live from, the fire I tend, the river I draw from, the soil where my roots grow, more than the answers I've been seeking, more than the breakthroughs I've been believing for, more than the promises I've been waiting on. You are the treasure at the center of it all. And when everything else fades, when the lights go out, when the applause dies down, when the crowds disappear, it is your presence that will remain. Steady, holy, weighty with glory. So refine my hunger, Lord. Let me crave what is eternal, not what is trendy. Let me long for what cannot be bought, earned, or replicated. Let me be satisfied only with what flows from your heart. Quench every thirst with living water. Feed every hunger with your truth. Let my soul feast at the table you set, where peace is the main course and joy overflows from the cup. I ask now for eyes to see what you see, to behold the broken not as burdens, but as invitations, to witness need and not turn away, to feel your heart beating for the lonely, the lost, the least. Teach me to stop for the one. Teach me to walk slowly enough to notice pain. Teach me to interrupt my schedule for the sake of love, to inconvenience my comfort to extend your mercy. Let compassion cost me something. Let generosity stretch me. Let my giving be extravagant not for approval, but because I know how extravagantly I've been loved. Let the grace I've received multiply in a grace I release. Let the forgiveness I've tasted become the forgiveness I extend. Let me never grow stingy with what you've freely given. And as I continue to journey with you, let me not grow weary in doing good. Let me not measure results in earthly terms. Let me not fall into comparison or competition. Guard my heart from envy, from striving, from self-promotion. Hide me in your shadow, and teach me that obscurity with you is better than visibility without you. Let the rhythm of my days be built around your presence. Let prayer be the axis upon which my decisions turn. Let worship be the breath between each word I speak. Let silence before you be sweeter than noise before men. Make me a person of your presence, shaped by encounter, sustained by devotion. Even when the road is narrow and the crowd is few, remind me that your path has never been measured by popularity. Remind me that the way of the cross has always been costly, that obedience is better than sacrifice, that purity is better than performance, that your presence is better than any platform. So here I am again, open, still, yielded, not holding back, not negotiating, not bargaining, just surrendered. My heart, my time, my voice, my breath, all of it yours. All of it laid on the altar of intimacy. All of it returned to the one who gave it first. Let this be the moment that echoes into eternity. Let this posture be the foundation of everything I build. Let this sacred hush wrap around my soul long after the day begins. And let me return to it often, not because I must, but because I can, because you're always waiting, because you're always here, because this is home, this holy place between my inhale and your exhale, where time bends and eternity brushes against my skin, where words fail but worship rises, where fears melt and truth begins to sing. This is where I was made to dwell. Not to visit occasionally when crisis comes, but to abide, to linger, to be shaped again and again by the sound of your nearness. So shape me, Lord. Take every layer of me not molded in your hands and reshape it. Remove the stiff armor I've built out of disappointment. Strip away the brittle walls formed by rejection. Dismantle every identity I created in survival and reveal the one you crafted in secret before I was born. Reintroduce me to the version of myself who walks barefoot in your presence, unashamed, whole, free. Let this freedom not be a concept, but a daily experience. Let it drip into my conversations, saturate my decisions, and rewire my reflexes. Let it untangle me from old ways of thinking, the fear-based responses, the scarcity mindsets, the suspicion toward joy. Let freedom become my default, not my destination. Let it be the ground I walk on, not just the banner I wave. And when the enemy tries to whisper me back into chains, remind me of this moment, of the fire that fell, of the veil that tore, of the prison doors that swung open without a sound. Remind me that I do not belong to fear. I do not belong to failure. I do not belong to who I used to be. I belong to you, the one who called me by name and said, "Live." Speak again, Father. Say the word that resurrects. Say the word that calls forth bones into bodies, dryness into rivers, ashes into crowns. Speak into the places I've left untouched, thinking they were too far gone. Nothing is beyond your reach. No heart too calloused, no dream too delayed, no scar too deep. One word from you, and everything shifts. And I don't just want that shift for myself, I want it for the world. So let what you're doing in me spill out. Let it ripple into my family, my friendships, my city. Let revival start in my heart and move outward until it touches every person I encounter. Not with hype, but with holiness. Not with noise, but with unmistakable love. I surrender my influence to you, not to be used for my name, but for yours. Not to gather followers, but to lead wanderers back to your heart. Let my life be a signpost pointing away from me and directly toward the cross. Let my words be salt and light, my silence laced with wisdom, my presence charged with peace. And where I lead, let me follow. Let me never believe I've arrived. Keep me on my knees in awe and wonder. Keep me tender. Let me never grow numb to your beauty. Let the gospel never feel familiar. Let your mercy never become a concept. Let your presence never become optional. I don't want a version of faith that fits in my pocket, neat and controlled. I want the wild, untamable spirit of the living God to have full reign in me. Disrupt my comfort. Unseat my self-made plans. Lead me to the wilderness, if you must, if that's where I'll see the cloud by day and fire by night. Wherever you are, that's where I want to be. Even if it costs me my preferences. Even if it breaks my routines. Even if it means letting go of everything I thought I needed to feel safe. Because you're my safety. Not the plan, Not the paycheck, not the relationship. You. And where you were is always the best place I could possibly be. So I lean in again. I lean past logic. I lean past the noise. I lean into the whisper that calls me deeper. That reminds me I was not made for shallow living. I was not born to float. I was made to dive, to risk, to trust, to lose myself in love that has no floor, no ceiling, no limits. This is where healing happens, not when I avoid the pain, but when I invite you into it. So I open the doors I've kept locked. I let you walk into the hallways where shame echoes, where old memories still sting. And I feel it now, Yuri, not afraid of the mess. You don't flinch at the dark. You come closer. You sit with me there. You hold the pieces. You whisper, watch what I can do with this. And suddenly the pain is no longer my enemy, it's an altar. A place where resurrection begins, where beauty is born from the breaking, where oil begins to pour from the crushing. I wouldn't have chosen this path, but now I wouldn't trade it for it's here. I met you not in theory, but in touch, in tears, in truth. So thank you, not just for the victories, but for the valleys, not just for the open doors, but for the closed ones, for every no that protected me, for every delay that refined me, for every season that stripped away the layers that couldn't come with me into the next one. You are not just a God of mountaintops, but of wilderness, not just of sunrise, but of midnight. And you're still moving even now, in the quiet, in the mundane, in the moments no one sees. You are the gardener of my soul, tending things that haven't bloomed yet, pulling weeds I didn't know were choking joy, planting seeds I'll reap in years I can't yet imagine. You are patient. You are thorough. You are kind. Let that kindness become my compass. Let me lead from love, not from fear. Let me parent, teach, serve, create, and speak from the overflow of what you're doing in me. Let me live in such a way that people don't encounter a brand, they encounter a burning bush. A place where heaven touches earth, even for a moment. And if I'm ever tempted to dim the light to make others comfortable, remind me that you lit this fire, not me. That I am not responsible for managing perception, only obedience. That my call is not to be palatable, but to be pure. To be holy as you are holy. To walk upright in a crooked world, not with self-righteousness, but with sacred conviction. Let me be one who stands when others kneel to compromise. Let me be one who weeps when the world celebrates sin. Let me be one who loves too much to stay silent, and who speaks only from the place of love. Let my life be prophetic, not in grand proclamations, but in quiet faithfulness. In hidden devotion, in unwavering yes after yes after yes. And if revival comes through obedience, let's start here. If awakening begins in one heart laid bare, let mine be the first. I don't want to wait for the crowd. I don't want to wait for convenience. I say yes now, in the stillness, in the ordinary, in the quiet before the noise. I say yes with trembling hands and burning heart. Take this yes, Lord. Take this moment. Stretch it across every hour, every day. Make this posture my permanent home, hands open, knees bent, eyes fixed. I know storms will come. I know valleys will stretch long. But if this fire stays lit, I will not lose my way. You're the cloud that leads by day. You're the fire that guides by night. And in your light, I see clearly. I see the lies unravel. I see the fear shrink. I see the future not with dread, but with hope. Because I know the one who holds it. I know the one who never changes, who cannot lie, who never fails. You are faithful, and that alone is enough to keep me anchored. So I stay, not because I must, but because I've seen where else I could go and there is no other. No other love so true. No other presence so full. No other joy so complete. You're the prize, Jesus. You always have been, and now I know it, not just in my head, but in every cell of my being. I don't need more proof. I don't need more signs. You've already given me yourself, and I will spend the rest of my life saying thank you with how I live, with how I forgive, with how I worship, with how I love. And even when my words fail, even when my voice falters, let the very breath in my lungs declare it over and over and over again. You are worthy. You are holy. You are faithful. You are everything. And still, you draw near not because I am worthy, but because you are merciful. Not because I performed, but because you delight in presence over perfection. You stoop low, you come close, you walk beside. The creator of galaxies chooses to dwell within my trembling heart. What kind of love is this? What kind of God chooses a frail, flawed human as his temple, his dwelling place? I will never get over you, Lord. I don't want to. Let this awe never fade. Let this wonder never dull. Let my heart never grow familiar with glory. Keep it wild in me. Keep it burning. Keep it dancing like fireflies in the dark, like stars stitched across the sky. Let this reverence wake me each day with tears and joy. Let my spirit rise each morning with the echo of your name and a hunger that only your nearness can fill. And as the world awakens in chaos, noise, distraction, I will find you in the quiet, in the early light, in the in-between moments. I will seek you in the face of strangers, in the stillness between meetings, in the breath I take before speaking. I will recognize you in the tears of others, in the laughter of children, in the ache of injustice, and the whispers of restoration. Let my life reflect your gaze. Let me walk with such intimacy that even my silence carries your voice. Let me be one whose presence carries peace, whose words lift burdens, whose eyes hold the weight of heaven's compassion. Let people see through me into the vastness of your heart. Let them taste grace in my kindness. Let them encounter safety in my truth. You are writing eternity into my soul land. I yield to your hand. Even when it carves deep, even when it presses hard, I trust you. You are the author and the finisher. You don't leave things half-healed or half-holy. You complete what you begin. And I know you're not done with me yet. So write, Father, write on the walls of my heart the truths I must carry into the days ahead. Write your word like tattoos on my soul, indelible, beautiful, costly. Let every promise I read become a pathway I walk. Let every story I study become a song I sing. Let every correction become a kindness that saves me from myself. And when I grow tired, remind me that strength does not come from striving, but from surrender. That rest is not retreat, it is resistance to a world that values busyness over being. Help me resist the need to always produce, always move, always do. Teach me to be still and know, to be held and healed, to be loved before I do a single thing. Yes, Lord, love me here. Love me now, in the waiting, in the becoming, in the unfolding of this life that is not what I expected, but more than I could have imagined. And let me love you back, not in theory, not just in theology, but in the wild, raw, real choices of every day. Let my love be loud in obedience, in small yes and surrendered moments, in late night prayers and early morning tears, in how I treat the ones who misunderstand me, in how I forgive the ones who won't say sorry, in how I choose compassion over correctness, mercy over pride. And when it gets hard, Dan, it will hold me steady. When my knees wobble and my hands grow weak, lift me up. When I feel unseen and unheard, remind me that you never look away. When the path ahead narrows, light it just enough for the next step. When I want to give up, remind me why I started, because you called me. Because you're worth it. Because your love is better than life. Yes, better than life. Better than ease. Better than success. Better than being understood or celebrated. Better than the things I sometimes think I need. Your love has no rival. Your love has no equal. Your love is the air I breathe and the water I drink. It is my song in sorrow, my anchor in storm, my banner in battle, and my rest in weariness. So let my days be poured out like perfume at your feet. Let my years be a long, fragrant offering, broken open for your glory. Let every dream I ever dreamed lay down in joyful surrender and rise again only if you breathe on it. I do not want a future that doesn't carry your fingerprints. I do not want a destiny that doesn't echo your name. Lead me in the way everlasting. Guide me in paths of righteousness, not just because it's right, but because it's where you are. I would rather be in a desert with you than in a palace without you. I would rather be unknown, but obedient than famous and far from you. Let my life be a trail of breadcrumbs pointing others to the table where I found home. Yes, you are home. The place I run to and the place I rise from. The beginning and the end. The Alpha and the Omega. The Lamb who was slain and the King who will return. You're the fire in my bones, the song in my mouth, the stillness in my chest. You are the reason I breathe and the reason I bow. So even when the world says move faster, I will choose your rhythm. Even when culture says build higher, I will choose to go deeper. Even when fear says hide, I will choose to shine not for applause, but because light was meant to be seen. You didn't set me ablaze to keep the fire to myself. You lit me so others might see you. And so, I step forward still praying, still listening, still burning. This is not an ending. It's a continuation, a daily yes, a sacred echo that began in the quiet and now carries into every hour ahead. And wherever I go, may it be said, that one has been with Jesus. Let it be known not by what I say, but by how I love. Not by what I accomplish, but by how I kneel. Not by my strength, but by my surrender. Not by my platform, but by the presence I carry. Let this moment mark me forever, not just as a prayer prayed, but a life laid down. And if ever I drift, let this fire bring me back. If ever the weight of the world begins to dim the light within me, breathe again, Lord. Breathe into the embers. Let what we share in the secret place always be the loudest sound in my soul, louder than accusation, louder than temptation, louder than the roar of the world that tries to pull me away from your feet. Keep my ears tuned to your whisper. Let me never grow too proud to need you, too distracted to hear you, too busy to wait on you. If I forget the sweetness of your nearness, arrest my heart, stop my steps, and woo me back with kindness. I know now that holiness isn't harsh, it's the tender call back into your arms. So I surrender again, not because I've lost ground, but because there's always more to give, always more of me that you are worthy of. And the deeper I go, the more I want to go further still. I want to know you in every Huron sunrise and sorrow, in noise and silence, in fullness and in ache. I want to walk with you so closely that I no longer know where I end and you begin. Let your spirit take over, not as a visitor, but as a resident. Take the keys, take the map, take the pen and write the next chapters, even if they look nothing like what I planned. I trust you with the unknown. I trust you with the unseen. I trust you with the deepest parts of meth fragile, the unfinished, the places still becoming. And when I step into moments that stretch me, remind me that you go before me. When I'm called to speak, let it be your breath that fills my lungs. When I'm called to stay silent, let it be your hand that rests over my mouth. When I am misunderstood, let it be your eyes that remind me I am known. And when I'm weary, Let it be your voice that sings over me until I find my strength again. Father, make me dangerous to the kingdom of darkness, not by might, not by power, but by love. The kind of love that lays itself down, that sees the one in the crowd, that refuses to retaliate, that loves even the enemy. Let that kind of love possess me fully until every fear flees and every wall falls. Let my very presence be warfare not by shouting, but by shining. Let those who come near me encounter you, not because I am great, but because I've been with you. Let them feel peace that passes understanding, joy that makes no sense, hope that survives every storm. Let them be awakened not to my words, but to the reality of your heart. Let them leave not impressed, but transformed, not entertained, but encountered. Use every part of me, God, my story, my scars, my voice, my silence, my talents, my trials, nothing wasted, nothing hidden, everything yours. Let there be no part of me held back, no corner untouched. I want to be fully available, fully surrendered, fully alive in you. And when the darkness rises, as it surely will, let me rise too not in my own strength, but clothed in your armor, filled with your spirit, grounded in your truth. Let me speak light where lies have lived too long. Let me build altars in barren places. Let me sing over dry bones until they rattle with new life. And when I see injustice, break my heart, but don't let it break my hope. Let me carry the ache and the answer. Let me be both intercessor and action. Give me courage that doesn't wear out. Give me compassion that doesn't run dry. Give me conviction that doesn't compromise. Let my hands be calloused with service and my knees worn from prayer. I don't want to live safe, I want to live surrendered. I don't want to just exist, I want to impact eternity. I want to write history with you, to walk into rooms and shift atmospheres, to bring heaven into chaos, to carry light into places where it's never been before. I want to be known in hell not for my name, but for the authority I carry because I've been in your presence. Father, mark me. Mark my words. Mark my worship. Mark my work. Let all of it testify of your greatness. Let every breath tell the story of grace. Let every heartbeat echo eternity. Let me never forget that I am dust breathed upon by divinity, that I am ordinary, made extraordinary only by the touch of your hand. Let this moment be more than emotion. Let it be transformation. Let it ripple into every area of my life, how I speak, how I serve, how I love, how I lead, how I listen. Let my days be saturated with the awareness that you are near. You're always near, closer than the air in my lungs. And when my time on earth is done, let it be said that I burned for you, that I did not waste my days chasing comfort, but poured myself out like oil upon your feet, that I lived with eternity in my eyes and love in my hands, that I walked humbly, served faithfully, and loved fiercely because I had been with the King. Until that day, I will return here again and again, not out of duty, but out of desire, because where you are, that's where I want to be. No stage, no spotlight, no crown can compare to the glow of your nearness in this quiet place. This is where I am most alive, most whole, most free. Let that freedom flow into the world around me. Let break chains I don't even see. Let it raise the broken and invite the outcast. Let it declare that the veil is torn and the way is open, that there is room at the table, space in the Father's arms, healing in the hem of your robe. Let the world see what I have seen you, Father, and if forever means walking paths I didn't choose, teach me to walk them with joy. If it means surrendering what I thought I couldn't live without, help me trust that what you give in return is always better. Let my hands stay open, even when they tremble. Let my heart stay soft, even when it breaks. Let me love you not just in light, but in shadows. Not just in comfort, but in sacrifice. For what is love if it cannot endure the fire? What is devotion if it crumbles in delay? What is worship if it fades when the music stops? Make my love enduring. Make it steady. Make it like yours, constant, patient, faithful through the storm. And when I fail you and I know, I will remind me quickly of grace. Let not take days to return to you. Let not require me to clean myself up before running home. Teach me to repent quickly and boldly, to know that you never tire of forgiving, that you're more eager to restore than I am to ask, that mercy still flows like a river from your heart to mine. And let that mercy I've received become the mercy I extend. Teach me to walk slow with others, to believe the best, to forgive the deep wounds, to cover not just sins, but shame, to be a voice that speaks life into what looks hopeless, to offer the same patience you've given me. And when I'm tempted to hold a grudge, whisper again, remember who you are. Remember whose you are. Let love be the loudest language I speak. Let it translate through my actions more than my words. Let it be the signature of my soul. A love that is not fragile or performative, but strong enough to carry pain, brave enough to face truth, humble enough to listen, pure enough to heal. Let it show up when no one's watching, when there's no reward, no applause, no recognition. Let it be found in the secret acts the note left, the door held open, the prayer whispered over a stranger. Let it be consistent and quiet, but deeply powerful. Let it dismantle walls others never thought could fall. And God, even as I ask for the strength to love others, help me not forget to love the one you created in me, not with pride or vanity, but with the kindness you modeled, with the grace you give so freely. Help me speak gently to my own heart, to recognize my humanity and rest in your righteousness, to release the pressure of perfection and find joy in the journey of being made new. When the enemy reminds me of where I've fallen short, remind me of the cross, of the scars that already paid the debt in full, of the blood that speaks a better word over my life, of the empty grave that means no shame can cling to me unless I choose to wear it. You didn't redeem me halfway, you brought me out completely, eternally, irrevocably. So I will not partner with condemnation. I will not bow to guilt. I will not entertain the voice that says I'm too far, too late, too broken. I am yours, called, chosen, washed, renewed, filled, sent, loved, and I will walk like it's true. I will live like it's real. I will pray like heaven is listening and act like heaven is near. Because it is. Because you are. You're closer than the tears I haven't cried yet. You're ahead of every step I haven't taken yet. You're already in tomorrow, making a way where I feared there would be none. So I step forward, one breath, one yes at a time. And even when I can't see the whole road, I'll trust the one who carved it. You, the shepherd of my soul, the guide of my heart, the keeper of my dreams, the builder of my purpose. Let purpose be less about destination and more about presence. Less about arrival and more about alignment. Less about doing and more about being with you, in you for you. Because if I gain the world but lose this intimacy, I have nothing. But if I lose everything and keep you, I have more than enough. You are my abundance. You are my portion. You are the answer to every longing I never learned how to name. And I will keep returning here, to this altar, to this place between breath and breakthrough, until you've written yourself into every corner of me. So keep writing, God. Keep painting beauty over my ashes. Keep planting hope in my barren places. Keep drawing rivers in my deserts. Keep revealing glory in my weakness. Don't let me grow content too soon. Don't let me settle for less than the fullness of what you want to do in me. Stretch me in love. Grow me in joy. Mature me in patience. Deepen me in peace. Fortify me in faithfulness. Refine me in gentleness. Strengthen me in self-control. Let the fruit of the Spirit not just decorate me, but define me. Let people meet you in my silence. Let them feel seen in my presence. Let my posture preach louder than my platform ever could. Let humility be my fragrance. Let compassion be my legacy. Let intercession be my hidden power. And when I run out of words, let my tears still speak. When I have no song to sing, let my breath be worship. When I don't know what to do, let me stay right here in your presence. Still, listening, waiting, trusting, because this place, this posture, this intimate knowing this is the true victory. This is where healing flows. This is where identity is restored. This is where the real battles are won. And it has nothing to do with noise and everything to do with nearness. So bring me near again and again and again. Let the rhythm of your heartbeat set the pace for my life. Let your whisper be the loudest voice I follow. Let your presence be the reason for everything I say yes or no to. Let your glory be the only thing I chase. And let every day begin and end in this holy awareness that I am fully loved, forever held, and eternally yours. Even as the world pulls at my attention, even as demands rise and distractions multiply, let this truth remain louder than them. I belong to you. Let that belonging be more than theology. Let it be my compass, my confidence, my identity in motion. Let it define the way I rise in the morning, the way I respond to pressure, the way I carry myself in the quiet spaces where no one else sees. And if ever I begin to drift toward the applause of man or the comfort of compromise, call me back. Whisper to me in the night. Nudge me with the kindness only you can offer. Remind me that no success is worth trading intimacy, and no influence is worth losing presence. I don't want to be famous with strangers and a stranger to you. Let my soul be known in heaven, not just my name on earth. Teach me to hear your footsteps in the noise, to follow your wind even in stillness. Let your spirit be the map by which I navigate every new season. I won't always understand the way forward, but I choose to trust the one leading me. I choose trust over control, obedience over outcome, worship over worry. And if trusting you means letting go of things I once called essential, then help me release them. Help me to open my hands and find that what I lose is nothing compared to what I gain in you. You are not a taker, you are a giver. Even your pruning is generous. Even your discipline is kind. You never remove without preparing room for more life, more depth, more of you. So strip away every layer that no longer serves my calling. Peel off the pride I didn't notice. Break the agreements I made with fear. Tear down every idol I built out of insecurity. Uproot the lies I've let grow deep, and plant something holy in their place: truth, purity, peace, clarity. Rebuild me, not in the image of what the world says I should be, but in the design you dreamed over me before I breathed my first breath. Let that blueprint be my anchor when the world feels unsteady. Let that vision be the lens through which I see not just myself, but everyone around me. Let me see people like you do, beyond behavior, beyond masks, beyond mistakes. Let me see hearts that ache to be loved, souls crying for truth, minds begging for peace. Let me speak life into their weariness. Let me bring grace into their shame. Let me offer safety where they've only known judgment. Let me represent you not with perfection, but with compassion. And in the spaces you've called me to lead, let me lead like Jesus. Not from above, but beside. Not by force, but by example. Not for applause, but for love. Give me hands willing to wash feet. Give me eyes that notice the unnoticed. Give me courage to serve in the unseen, to carry crosses others avoid, to build altars in places others abandon. Let my influence not be measured in numbers, but in impact, in testimonies whispered through tears, in lives changed by love, in hearts that turn toward you not because I was impressive, but because I was surrendered. Let the fragrance of my obedience linger long after my name is forgotten. And in the tension between calling and waiting, between promise and fulfillment, between planting and harvest, let me be faithful. When the doors stay closed longer than I hoped, when the answers are slower than I prayed for, when the silence stretches farther than expected, still I will stay. Still I will worship. Still I will believe. Because you are not slow as I understand slowness. You are strategic. You are preparing things I can't see. You are protecting me from things I didn't even know to fear. You are aligning people, seasons, circumstances in ways I could never orchestrate. You are writing a story that's bigger than my comfort, deeper than my understanding, wider than my reach. And though I may feel small in the middle of it, remind me that small things matter to you. A mustard seed, a widow's mite, a cup of cold water, a whispered prayer, a single step in obedience. You see it all. You bless it all. You breathe on it all. So I won't despise my small beginnings. I won't rush through the quiet seasons. I won't measure my worth by visible fruit. I will remain in you. I will abide. I will stay rooted in love, grounded in truth, anchored in grace. I will let you grow in me what you want to bloom in your time. And when the moment comes when the doors open, the platform expands, the influence increases, remind me again that it was never about me. Remind me to stay low, to walk in humility, to steward the stage like I did the secret place with trembling, with reverence, with eyes fixed on you. Let the weight of your glory keep me grounded. Let the fear of the Lord keep me pure. Let the joy of your presence keep me satisfied. Let the fire on my altar never go out. Let me return again and again to this well, to this table, to this heart to heart, until it's not just a moment in time, but the rhythm of my entire life. And when I am old, may the fire still burn. May the intimacy have only grown deeper. May my hands be wrinkled, but still raised. My voice softer, but still singing. My heart slower, but still ablaze. Let every year that passes find me more in love, more surrendered, more like you. And let the legacy I leave not be measured in accolades or possessions, but in the love I gave freely, the faith I lived boldly, and the people I led gently to your feet. Let my children, natural and spiritual, know that they were seen, known, loved, and led by someone who had been with God. And when my final breath is near, let it be full of peace. Let it be one more whisper to you, one more exhale of worship, one more echo of everything we shared in every sacred hour like this one. Let it be a passing not into death, but into the fulfillment of every longing, every promise, every prayer, into the fullness of the presence I've only tasted here. But until that day, I will return, morning after morning, night after night. I will build altars in the everyday. I will consecrate moments others rush through. I will protect this sacred space like it's life because it is. And in doing so, I will find that everything I've ever needed, everything I've ever dreamed, everything I was ever created for was always here in you. The one who was there before my first cry and who will hold me beyond my last breath. The one who weaves meaning into every moment, who turns sighs into songs and ashes into beauty. The one whose presence doesn't just visit, but stays, inhabits, fills, makes a home in even the most fragile places of my heart. Let that be my truth in every season, Lord, that you are not a visitor but a dweller, not a distant deity but a present Father. You do not come and go based on my performance. You do not measure my worth by my perfection. You delight in me as I am, even while you continue the holy work of transformation within me. So transform me still. Transform the way I listen, so I hear not just the words, but the heart behind them. Transform the way I see, so I don't miss the sacred in the ordinary. Transform the way I walk, so I tread gently in a world that's already bleeding. Transform the way I wait, so I don't grow weary or bitter, but become a well of hope for those around me. Let waiting be worship. Let silence be sacred. Let every hidden moment be heavy with glory. Teach me to love the unseen, to live for the eternal, to recognize that the deepest work you do in me often happens when no one else is watching. And when no one claps, let me still give you glory. When no one sees, let me still serve with joy. When no one understands, let me still love without offense. When no one affirms, let me still rest in the truth that you have already spoken over me. Your affirmation is enough. Your delight is enough. Your nearness is enough. And when I forget, because I will bring me back gently. Speak again the words you've already written on the walls of my soul. Remind me of the quiet covenant we've built in these moments. That what we have here, this prayer, this presence, this intimacy is more real than all the noise that shouts for my attention. And Father, help me carry this atmosphere into every space I inhabit. Let meetings become sanctuaries. Let commutes become prayer walks. Let homes become altars. Let hearts be revived simply because someone who had been with you walked into the room. Let me not compartmentalize your presence, but carry it like oil in every vessel I touch. Let every task, no matter how small, be done unto you. Washing dishes, preparing meals, sending emails, answering phone calls, let all of it be worship. Let all of it be lit with the fire we've built here in the secret place. Let all of it smell like heaven. And in the mundane, let me not miss the miraculous. Let me see your fingerprints in the sunrise, your smile in the laughter of children, your wisdom in the turning of seasons, your grace in every breath that rises and falls. I don't need spectacular to know you're near. I only need to be awake, aware, attentive to the quiet evidence of your love that surrounds me like a melody I once knew and am learning to sing again. So tune my soul to your frequency. Let me resonate with your spirit. Let me walk in step with you, not ahead, not behind, not in resistance, but in rhythm. And when I lose that rhythm, when the beat of the world tries to drown out your whisper, pull me close again. Sing over me until my spirit remembers the sound of belonging. Whisper again the ancient truths that still hold power, that I am not alone, that I am deeply loved, that I am covered by mercy and anchored in grace, that I was created not just for survival, but for communion, not just for existence, but for impact, not just to perform, but to dwell with you. And from that dwelling, let rivers flow. Let healing pour out through my words. Let hope shine through my eyes. Let courage rise in my steps. Let faith ignite in my silence. Let me become a living reflection of what has taken place in this holy space. Let others see not my strength, but your spirit, not my intellect, but your insight, not my charisma, but your character. Let the fruit of your spirit flourish in me so abundantly that no one questions where I've been. They know I've been with you. And when the world grows darker, let me shine brighter, not out of performance, but out of presence. Not because I'm trying to be seen, but because I cannot help but reflect the light that has lit every corner of my soul. Let every trial become a testimony. Let every setback become a setup for your glory. Let every heartbreak lead to deeper healing. Let every disappointment drive me further into your embrace. Let nothing be wasted. Nothing. You are the Redeemer of all things. Even the chapters I'd rather skip. Even the prayers I thought went unanswered. Even the scars I've tried to hide. You use it all. So I give you every stone, every shard, every fragile hope and fractured dream. Take them. Hold them. Use them. Make beauty from the pieces. Make legacy from a mess. Make heaven touch earth through the least likely vessel. Because you always choose the unlikely, the overlooked, the broken and surrendered. You chose fishermen to change the world. You chose a stuttering prophet to speak to kings. You chose a teenage girl to carry the Messiah. You chose a cross to bring resurrection. So if you can use that, you can use me. Use every yes I've ever whispered, every tear I've ever cried, every moment I've ever doubted but still showed up. Use it all. Multiply it. Sanctify it. Send it like seeds into the world, and let fruit rise up in places I may never see. Let this obedience ripple through generations. Let it become inheritance for my children and their children. Let them walk on ground I plowed in prayer. Let them drink from wells I dug in worship. Let them rise on altars I built in surrender. Let them carry a fire I refuse to let die. And in the generations to come, let it be said that I was one who burned, one who bowed, one who belonged not to this world, but to you, one who said yes when it was costly, one who stayed when it was quiet, one who believed even when it was dark. Let that be my story, not a life without struggle, but a life saturated in presence. Not a perfect journey, but a faithful one. Not an easy road, but a holy one. A life marked by your nearness, your whisper, your glory. Because what else is worth living for? Let that be the anthem of my heart until my final breath and beyond. Let that echo into eternity, resounding louder than every failure, every fear, every hesitation that ever tried to hold me back. Let it resound across time. I was yours, completely, unapologetically, eternally. Because when the world fades and the noise quiets and all the lights go out, what remains is you, just you, and the knowing that I was never alone, never forgotten, never abandoned even when I felt surrounded by silence. Even when tears blur my sight, even when the path ahead was dim and the questions piled high. Still, you were there. You never left. Let that assurance be the ground I walk on, the truth I return to, the root beneath every decision. Let it be the song beneath my breath, the fire beneath my ribs, the light behind my eyes. Let it drive away every shadow that tries to return, every doubt that tries to take up space in a heart already filled by glory. And Father, if ever I am tempted to forget all you've done, all you are, all you've whispered in this secret place, let creation remind me. Let the trees speak of your patience. Let the ocean tell of your power. Let the stars declare your faithfulness across every night I live. Let the changing of seasons reassure me that you are the same yesterday, today, and forever. When the sun rises, let it shout of new mercies. When the moon glows, let it testify of your watchfulness through every dark hour. When rain falls, let it be a washing, a renewal, a baptism of grace. Let everything around me preach until I remember the truth I now know in the marrow of my bones. I am deeply loved. I am divinely held. I am eternally yours. And so, I will live like it. I will live with courage that cannot be bought, with peace that cannot be shaken, with joy that cannot be faked. I will laugh deeply and weep freely. I will pour myself out and let you fill me again and again. I will not save my love for safe places. I will not withhold my faith until it makes sense. I will not store up my worship for the mountaintop. I will bring it all, every breath, every ache, every hallelujah you, here and now. And you will receive it, not because it's flawless, but because it's real, because it's mine, because you treasure the offering more than the polish, because you see past performance and into heart. And what you see, you cherish. Let that be my confidence, not my ability, not my record, not my strength. Just the certainty that I am seen, known, and cherished by the God who dreamed me into being. Let me live a life that echoes this truth. In how I speak, in how I rise, in how I rest, in how I forgive, in how I hope again. Let it shape the way I love my neighbor, how I serve the stranger, how I show up when no one claps, how I worship when no one listens. Let me become a vessel of consistency, one who does not shift with seasons, but stands rooted in your presence. And when I stumble, because I will, let grace meet me before shame ever gets the chance. Let mercy pick me up before guilt can take root. Let the memory of this sacred moment of surrender pull me back from every edge I'll ever face. You are not just the starting point. You are the whole path. You are the rhythm, the melody, the meaning of every step I take. Keep writing the song of my life, Father. Let every note be played with purpose. Let every verse reflect redemption. Let every chorus rise with thanksgiving. Let the bridge be built over every valley I'll walk, and let the ending be sung in the harmony of eternity. Let nothing in this life drown out the anthem we began together in this sacred stillness. And when others hear my life, when they listen closely, let them hear you. Not in volume, but in depth. Not in perfection, but in peace. Let them hear the echo of your kindness in every word I choose, the trace of your truth in every choice I make. Let them encounter the fragrance of your spirit in every room I enter, not because I strive to leave a mark, but because I carry your name. Let me be unshakable, not because the storms cease, but because I know who holds the sky. Let me be unoffendable, not because I'm immune to pain, but because I've chosen love as my defense. Let me be unstoppable, not because I have the strength, but because you promise to be my strength in every weakness. You've taught me that intimacy is not found in doing more, but in yielding deeper. That joy is not found in having more, but in knowing you more. That peace is not found in changing the circumstances, but in changing the posture of my heart. And so I ask again, change me, continually, completely, compassionately. Mold me into a person of presence, someone who doesn't run from discomfort, but welcomes the holy work it brings. Make me the kind of worshiper who doesn't need music to sing, who doesn't need a stage to bow, who doesn't need a reason to lift handsomely a memory of who you are. Let that be enough. Always. Because you've never stopped being enough. Even when I was distracted. Even when I wandered. Even when I questioned. Your faithfulness never flickered. Your promises never faltered. You held steady while I swayed. You stayed while I strayed. And now, in this moment of return, I find that you never left. So I will not live like one who is uncertain. I will not carry my identity like a fragile label that might fall off. I will wear it boldly, a child of God, sealed by love, set apart by grace, surrendered in purpose. And I will keep showing up every day in this same posture of prayerful expectancy, not expecting perfection from the day, but presence. Yours, not waiting for everything to make sense, but trusting that even in the mystery, you are good. That even in the unknown, you are kind. That even in the waiting, you are near. So I open my eyes with wonder. I stretch my hands with anticipation. I step into the day not with dread, but with delight, because I know you've gone ahead of me. You've already walked this path. You've already filled this moment. And all you ask is that I walk with you not to earn your love, but to enjoy it. Let that be the truest thing about me. Not my fears, not my failures, not my past, not my potential. Let love be the loudest legacy I leave. Let joy be the most familiar sound I make. Let peace be the atmosphere I create. Let hope be the light that shines from me in every space I'm called to stand. Where surrender isn't weakness, it's strength. Where stillness is not inactivity, but intentional intimacy. Where silence speaks louder than speeches. Where the deepest work doesn't come from striving, but resting in your hands and letting you do what only you can. And I see it now, clearer than ever. That transformation happens not in the noise, but in the nearness. So draw me nearer still. Even when I think I've gone deep, take me deeper. Show me there's more. Not more to achieve, but more to receive. More of your character. More of your tenderness. More of your fire. More of the mystery that both humbles and lifts. I never want to graduate from this hunger. I never want to outgrow my need for you. I never want to become too familiar with holiness that it no longer causes me to tremble. Let me live in holy tension, trembling in awe, yet resting in love. Bowed low, yet lifted high. Broken in pride, yet whole in identity. Ever decreasing, yet filled with glory. I don't fully understand how you work, but I've stopped needing to. I've learned that trust doesn't always need details, it just needs direction. And you, Lord, are always enough direction for me. And when I walk through seasons of dryness, when the fire feels faint and the words feel empty, let me still come. Let me come without pretense. Let me come even when all I bring is silence. Teach me that faithfulness is not measured in feelings, but in the willingness to remain when it would be easier to run. When I feel unworthy, remind me that you don't love me because I earned it, you'll love me because it's who you are. When I feel inadequate, remind me that you are my adequacy, that you've never called the equipped, but always equipped the called, that what matters most is not what I bring, but that I bring it at all. Let me bring my 2 loaves and 5 fish again and again. Let me trust that you're still multiplying what I thought was too small. Let me never judge the offering, only the obedience. For what I deem insignificant might be the very thing you use to feed the multitudes. And Father, let me remain teachable. Let correction never offend, it refine me. Let challenge never harden, it deepen me. Let the conviction of the Holy Spirit be my compass, not my condemnation. Help me to welcome the fire that purifies, the pruning that protects, the discomfort that develops. I want to grow, even when growth hurts. Because what you're building is not just a moment, it's a legacy. What you're shaping is not just for mites, for those who will come after. And I want to be faithful with what I've been entrusted, not just for my sake, but for theirs. Let my ceiling become their floor. Let my victories become their starting line. Let the private battles I win become public inheritance for those I lead. Teach me how to walk in generational vision. Teach me how to sow into futures I'll never see. To build things whose fruit I may never taste, but whose roots I'll know were watered by my worship. Let my life be a long obedience in the same direct Iona, slow burning yes that does not fade with time. And in the long journey, when weariness whispers and loneliness lingers, let joy rise up like a river. Let it rise not from circumstances, but from communion, from knowing that you are with me in every valley and on every peak, that you laugh with me in the sunshine and hold me through the storm. That no matter how far I go, your hand never lets go. And if ever I begin to think that my pace defines my worth, slow me down. Remind me that the shepherd walks, he doesn't rush. That fruitfulness comes not from hustle, but from abiding. Let my soul move at the speed of grace. Let my calendar make space for awe. Let my heart beat in rhythm with eternity. And let eternity shape how I see today. Let it lift my eyes from what is urgent to what is lasting. Let it recalibrate my priorities. Let it reorder my pursuits. Let it remind me that every person I encounter is an immortal soul, deeply loved by the one I just spent the morning with. Let me treat every interaction as sacred, every act of kindness as eternal, every word as a seed planted in soil I may never see bloom. Make me a gardener of souls, not a builder of empires. Let me sow with tears and reap with joy. Let me not be obsessed with growth charts, but with faithfulness. Let me love the hidden places more than the headlines. Let me find joy in obscurity because you are there. Because obscurity is where you grow oaks of righteousness. And God, let me not forget joy. Let it not be optional, a luxury for when things go well. Let it be my weapon, my witness, my unwavering yes to the reality of heaven invading earth. Let it be strength in the struggle, dance in the desert, laughter in the face of lies. Let it be born not from perfect days, but from a heart perfectly kept in peace. And may that peace never leave me. Not because life stops being hard, but because I stop facing it alone. You are with me. Emmanuel, God with us. God with me in the boardroom, in the hospital room, in the messy kitchen, in the silent midnight, in the lonely morning, in the overwhelming afternoon, in the disappointing news, in the quiet breakthroughs. Always, ever, near. So I will live like that's true. I will live like I'm loved. I will speak like I'm safe. I will walk like I'm chosen. I will dream like nothing is impossible. I will worship like nothing else matters. I will love like you're watching, because you are. And if this is what it means to walk in the Spirit, then let me never walk another way. Let me forsake every shortcut that leads me away from your heart. Let me choose the narrow road again and again with delight. Let me wear the weight of your glory like it's light, because it is. And when I pass through waters, let them not overwhelm. When I walk through fire, let it not consume. Let me emerge stronger, purer, more radiant with the image of the one who walked beside me. Let my scars tell stories of survival. Let my story point back to your grace. Because grace is the anthem now. Grace that covers. Grace that calls. Grace that changes everything. Grace that picked me up and never let me go. Grace that holds my hand even when I stumble. Grace that sings over me even when I'm silent. Grace that surrounds me even when I forget. Let that be the song in my spirit when no other music is playing. And when I wake tomorrow, before I even open my eyes, let this prayer already be waiting. Let it greet me like light pouring through the window. Let it stir me before the alarm. Let it rise in me like breath, like hope, like a fire that never stopped burning. Beloved friend, as we draw this sacred time of prayer to a gentle close, I want to thank you from the depths of my heart for joining in this journey step by step, breath by breath, word by word. Your presence here is no small thing. Whether you whispered quietly through tears, stood strong in agreement, or simply rested in the silence between each line, you have made this moment holy by choosing to dwell in the presence of God. I invite you now, with all sincerity, to share your own prayers, your burdens, your hopes, your praises. Let this space become a river of faith flowing from hearts around the world. You are not alone. Your voice matters. Your prayer carries power. And when we lift our voices together, heaven moves. Thank you for opening your heart. Thank you for being here. Thank you for pressing in, for showing up, for saying yes to the still, small voice that called you to pray. I pray you carry this peace with you not just for today, but into every moment ahead. Let it whisper to you when you rise. Let it steady you when fear tries to return. Let it remind you that God is near, that He listens, that He responds. May your life continue to be a living prayer, and may your faith remain unshaken because you have encountered the one who is unchanging. Keep praying, keep believing, keep walking in the light of His love. With all my heart, thank you.